Welcome back to Siderium Hanger. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with the third-party panel from TFCON Orlando, which turned into TFCON No-Go. But I do want to say thanks to Chosen Prime for actually putting together a slideshow, YouTube video, talking about all these things so we can all kind of stay up on what's going on with all these third-party options. So in this video, there are some new releases, new reveals, and I'm not going to spend too much time talking about the stuff we've already seen. Let's spend more time talking about the new stuff. First off, right out of the gate, we've got New Age and their version of Soundwave. And we all kind of knew they were going to make a Soundwave. They're fighting neck and neck with Magic Square. And speaking of Magic Square, just so you can see the comparison of the two, I do think this looks good. It's a nice looking one, but it's sort of like which one's going to be better, this one or Magic Square. And it's really hard this day and age with New Age doing such great work, Magic Square doing good work, to not want to compare the two all the time in every aspect, since they are coming out with the same characters and going head to head. Here are the cassettes, and I do think these look so much better than what we were getting with the DX9, and then of course everybody that copied DX9, knocked off DX9 and all that. So they do look good. Question is, do they look better than Magic Squares? And here's Magic Squares for comparison. You make your own decision. I probably will have to make another whole video just comparing all of the different options of Soundwave and what's coming and all the cassettes. I mean, there's quite a bit there, and help y'all decide which one you like the most. As we all have figured out, Zeta is not buried and gone. They are live and well, hopefully. So the ZVO2 Flash is their version of the movie Blitzwing, and he looks a whole lot like a Seeker, but here he is from the front and then from the back. So it's a pretty nice looking representation of the movie Bumblebee character. Here's the jet mode. Another angle of the jet mode showing opening cockpits. But he's Blitzwing. Where's the tank mode? Haha. So now we've got some Lemon Tree painted photos of their Optimus Prime. Looks good. I mean, everything seems to look a little bit better once it's got paint. And yeah, it looks great. I like that G1S cab it has going on. And I do kind of like this version of Prime better than some other versions of Prime. And so here he is, painted up, looking good. I'm not 100% sure if this is what it's going to look like completely when it's painted. This does kind of have that hand-painted look to it, but does look pretty cool. Here are with Lemon Tree's Starscream. Now, these appear to be renders. And of course, that name is really cool, Starcream. Like, that is so close to the actual name, but looks nice. I mean, if you're going for that Bumblebee movie look, it's hitting it. Here's the Purple Potato, which is the ship that Unicron gave to Galvatron. I think this would probably look good next to your HasLab Unicron in your display. So I like the look of the ship. And now with it painted, I kind of like it even more. Here he is in his Shockwave mode. And it's just so you get some sort of value out of it. It's still actually a Transformer because it transforms. So there. But I think it looks good in both modes. And Lemon Tree is showing pictures in render form of their Bumblebee movie version of Soundwave. I think this is the first company to make an actual transforming Soundwave, so kudos to them. Let the Soundwave wars begin, and I guess they will. Looks good. And this is their Carrot, which I had to check the notes just to be sure. This is their Ironhide, just to make sure it really is supposed to be Ironhide. It is supposed to be Ironhide. And that's what he looks like right there. Their Lemon Tree seems like they're coming out of the gate pretty strong with quite a few figures in the works. This is their Pepper, which is a green cone head. So there it is. And of course everything else is the same as the Starscream version, except for the paint and the fact that it's Conehead. So we have the Banana Force non-transforming series of figures. So they've showed 4 off here. This is the MPL-01B, the RID Black Convoy, a Black Fire Convoy. And that's what this guy looks like. And yeah, it looks good. We also have the O2, MPL-02 standard RID Ultra Magnus. So all you see is a face, more or less, so you don't see the rest of them. Then you get the MPL-03 redesigned for perfection Atlas. That looks cool. And you're going to get the MPL-04 Jinrai. And that's how he looks. Moving into Transform Element, we do get to see a Bumblebee movie version of Bumblebee. And he looks pretty good. So there he is. But the big thing with them is this Beast Wars Scorponok. And they've already made their, like, a Legends size version of Black Arachnia. That one looks pretty good. They've hinted at making a rat trap. And so here's the Scorponok. I think this Scorponok looks pretty cool. And of course, I'm expecting it to be about the same size as their Black Arachnia. And a lot of people are saying, well, that's technically scale to Masterpiece if you look at the cartoon and how small they were when they were climbing all over Optimus Megatron. But anyway, moving into it, this is what he looks like in robot mode. And see, that's the thing about Beast Wars. Like, what do you care about more, the robot mode or the alt mode and the beast mode? And it's a tough one, because I think a lot of people display their Beast Wars in beast mode, which is sort of the creative take. We want the beast mode to look the best. So, you know, one mode may take a back seat. So, Kang Toys has their CTO3 Firmament Dive Bomb. And so this is what their Dive Bomb looks like. So, pretty cool looking. I think I don't know, have we seen this one already? Or is this a new one? Here he is in his bird mode. And definitely a stylized take on Predaking. So, if that's something you're in for, then it's coming along pretty well. Here is a changed up version of the actual Predaking. They're not showing you the whole thing. They're showing you like a shadow. So, hey, you know, this harkens back to the olden days where all you got was shadow releases at first. So, they kind of did away with that. And some people want to hold on to the old traditions. You know, like new companies. So it's kind of interesting that they're talking about this Gigasaur HQ02X battle-worn slag. You can still get this at Show Z. He's like almost $200. And it's pretty interesting figure. It's going to be only 400 made, so it's a limited release. It's battle-worn, weathered. Sort of the metallic look, not the chrome look. You know, I'm for the chrome look myself. So, I'm torn whether I pick this one up or not. Maybe it'll replace my Scoria. Or if you just can't get your hands on a Scoria, this one might be an option for you. So they showed this MB13 Fans Hobby Ace Hitter. And looks pretty cool. It's supposed to be Siren. So it's a Headmaster Siren. And yeah, looks cool. I like how you can fit the figure in there, the Headmaster in the cockpit or in the driver's seat. Kind of sad that there's not like 2 seats in there like it should be, but anyway, there's only 1 seat for it. Works out anyway. They did show more pictures of Athena. We've seen enough of those pictures, so I didn't really want to spend a whole lot of time, waste a whole lot of time on that. But that's what they look like side by side. And the Athena's still in the works. Their Minerva should be out relatively soon. These days, soon is very relative. It could be way longer than what soon meant back in the day. There is going to be add-on kit here, so this is a very specific picture to show every part of this add-on kit that you're going to be getting with their IDW Overlord, the Double Evil. And yeah, it's cool. I don't have the figure, so I don't really know, like, wow, it felt like it was missing so much. Now it feels like everything's there. So, but you could see part A, B, and C all in place for you to get an extra face, extra chest and extra gun, if it's something you want. And they also showed off this MB-15 Naval Commander for Armada Prime. It's like a little minicon, it looks like. It feels like it's a minicon. I'm guessing it is, and it just pegs right on there. And pretty interesting looking. It shows it in 2 different versions with 2 different colors and kind of what they do. So, yeah, that's cool. So we're getting into more pictures of Fans Toys Acoustic Wave. So the first thing we're going to talk about is some Fans Toys Acoustic Wave. And with this, it's pretty interesting because they're showing more pictures and more detail as opposed to the first renders. Now you can actually see the actual prototype. Still not in color yet, but looks good. I've heard a lot of people say negative things about the tapes. I think the tapes look fine. I don't know what the negativity is there. They're showing off some features where you could have it look more toon, or you could have it look more toy-esque, changing out the chest plate. Just kind of depends on what you want the most. I bet most people would go with the toon though and just put their sticker on it and make it look like that, but that's just my guess. Wonder what you do. Would you change the lower panels out in the legs? You know, how would you want to make it look? Here's more pictures of the tapes, and I don't see anything wrong with them. I don't see that they're that bad, and I'm wondering if they either redesigned these tapes a bit or the original renders were just kind of lazy renders. The real cassettes here, actual prototypes, look right. So maybe it was just bad pictures that they put out, but I don't see anything wrong with these. So here we can see the weapon storage, and they turn into what looks like batteries in the back, and we're giving up sort of that gimmick in the chest where you can put 3 cassettes, so I guess you'll just be able to put 1 in the chest instead of the 3. That's just the way it's going to be, and that's my guessing, just based on the way this looks. And so with that, you also get to see more of the back and some more of the details of this guy. Looking really good so far. Also, we get to see Rumble and Frenzy. Now, that's Rumble on the left and Frenzy on the right. Oh, wait, did I get that wrong? I don't know. Y'all can let me know in the comments. Looking above them, there's 3 heads and super clean tape mode. Super clean tape mode. I think the entire head is going to swap out and not just be like a super tiny face you have to swap. You get a whole head. I hope that's the route they went. But it's the way it looks. And the pile drivers, I wonder if they're electronic and they actually go back and forth, which it kind of makes it look like it's going to do that. It's going to do the MMC function and, you know, automatic go by itself. Here's Ravage, and looks good. Like this, I don't know how it's going to transform and look this good. They worked some magic on this guy. It looks good. So far, in my opinion, the best Ravage I have seen in a Masterpiece line in any form. And I do like Ravage a lot, so pretty excited about this guy. And this is Laserbeak, or is it Buzzsaw, or it's both. But that one looks good too. Clean cassette mode. Just those Fans Toys does good work. I mean, that's all there is to it. Didn't get any information whether or not these tapes are going to get included with Soundwave or sold separate. I wish we had information on that. So Tesla 2.0 looking pretty good. It's the first time we get to see his face, and I do want to point out that when you look at this figure. Look at the inner side of the thighs, the inner of the lower leg, the thighs itself. There's a bit more paneliness to it than they got with the Tesla 1.0, and that is because there's going to be more parts moving on this thing. So the transformation is going to be quite a bit more involved than the first one to get to this. But I think all modes look good. They look great, of course. And here he is in his mode to be a microscope. Wonder if it's a working microscope like we got with the G1 toy. I don't know anything about that yet, but I would imagine it would be. I mean, it seems like something Fans Toys would do. And here we are with some sort of a battle tank mode, and there it is. If that's something that you want to do with yours, you'll be able to do it for sure. Showing here, there is a bit of a difference to the gun. So they're not going to have the same gun. It's as the first one. It's going to be completely different, redesigned. That's kind of cool. It's got an extendable barrel, it looks like, and it can collapse in. Also, the 3 different faces. I don't think you'll get 3 different heads, though. And I don't think these faces will be usable with your 1.0, which was my hope. I was really hoping you could use these faces with 1.0. Now, if they gave you the actual whole head and you could just pop it on, I just really think that would be awesome if the head would just be swappable with your 1.0. So the people that have a 1.0 could have a much better head. All right, we're getting into their Huffer. And that's actually FT47 Huffer. Hey, it looks pretty good. These are some better pictures. I think in the last one, everything was kind of, he was shadowed in the background and not put to the forefront. Here he is in his alt mode, put to the forefront, looking pretty good, looking very Huffer-ish. Wonder if it'll pull any of the trailers I've ever made. Not sure. Too early to tell. Here he is next to his mates. He is bigger. I mean, he's supposed to be a little bit bigger, and he's supposed to be tough. I don't know if he's tough as Baran, but there he is. And getting into FT48 Jazz. Now, here's the thing. Everybody's been waiting for Takara to make a Jazz. And I do believe Fantoys has some sort of relationship with Takara, so that the fact they're making a Jazz means Takara is not. I do believe this. So, Takara's too busy making Beast Wars. Anyway, let them make their Beast Wars, because they're not going to make a Jazz. So, let Fantoys do it. There's a couple things I want to say about this Jazz. If you look at the lower feet, the lower legs, Fantoys was able to do what I never understood how no one else could do this. But they can make the rear end of the Porsche condense down to where it's not a huge flare of an ankle. There is a flare at the ankle, but it's not huge. So it's more tune accurate. And of course, what Fantoys always does, nailing that face sculpt, it just looks so good. I like the look of this character. I like the look of this figure. So, man, looking good. Let's see, the alt mode looks good too. Clean, smooth. Wonder how this transformation is going to be. See, look at the wheel well, how it's flared out in this mode, but then it's not prominent on the actual bot. So they're doing something with that wheel well. It's curious in transformation how they do it. Here is all angle shot, and you can see that. You see right there how they've condensed down that wheel well. I'm obsessed with that because that has been the failing point of all the other past versions. Anyway, clean back, clean side, clean-ish side, and pretty clean on the front. Nice looking version. If it looks this good in grayscale, how's it going to look all colored up and painted up? And how's it going to feel all full of diecast? Awesome. Another shot of just, both. And here's a shot next to, okay, they're hitting it. FT49 Mirage. That's awesome. Awesome. Looks good. Move over. Is it Transform Element that is making a Mirage? I think it is. They should still put theirs out. I mean, let them battle it out. But good looking Mirage. Here's both of them compared in their alt mode. It's almost like they're fuzzing out the Mirage to tell you it's further back than Jazz. Really interesting how they do these kinds of things. How they do their art. Seeing kind of a blurry picture here of Mirage in both modes. As in, it's off in the distant future. But yeah, there he is. Those are the two shockers, the two surprises that we got out of TFCON. Now, this is actually a little bit different picture. The Chosen Prime took these pictures himself. I gotta get his name. Anyway, he took these pictures himself. They look good. They include the wings or the planet ring, however you want to call them. The planet ring, the cape, the wings, whatever you want to call them, they're included in this picture, and so is the head. Something that you haven't seen in any other promotional pictures that have been out. So that's something different here. It looks good. That head sculpt looks good. I mean, this figure looks good. Still a bit on the small side, But extra detail with an opening chest like this. Really interesting stuff going on. Look at these. Posability is pretty good. I don't know. I don't like the way those hip skirts work, but they work, so there it is. And here he is in planet mode, and I do want to say that I still think HasLab planet mode blows this planet mode out of the water. Just saying. So what you want to do is, of course, play to the strengths, and this guy in his bot mode, HasLab in planet mode, but then this guy in bot mode is a bit short. But the price is right. You can still get it pre-ordered at ShowZ right now. I'm guessing you could probably pre-order this at Chosen Prime too. Who knows? Looks like a huge cavity. You could almost fit like a little softball or something in there, like a planet it just ate. But again, like this looks like a very cheap way to do this part of the mouth versus what HasLab did. And MMC is there to show off their Deathsaurus, and yeah, looks pretty good. Pretty good. Here he is in his Dino mode. Yep, that guy looks pretty solid. Also there to show off their IDW versions of So let me know what you think about this year's TFCON third-party panel. A little bit of a surprise, some new stuff to it, little update to old stuff, kind of exactly what I expected. A lot of people are going to go, oh, it's lackluster and it's not that great, but it's exactly what I expected. So let me know in the comments what you think. Like, subscribe, Tadarium Hanger out.